Hello friends, this is Vani from Viva Sew and Style. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to discuss top 10 MCCalls patterns that I have used and I highly recommend them. They are beginner friendly and this week there is a sale in Joann's, so they are on sale for $1.99. So you guys can take advantage of them, especially if newer patterns are not available in your store yet. So I am recommending these patterns. These are classics. They are basic. You can use them whether you are a beginner or you are an advanced sewist. Depending on the type of fabric you use, they can be casual or dressy. So without further ado, let's begin. So the very first pattern that I would recommend is MCCalls 7531. This is a beginner pattern. It's a learn to sew series. However, it's a perfect dress. And this is a perfect pattern to create a beautiful bodycon dress. If you try this pattern, you will learn how to set in a sleeve. You will learn how to create a slit in a dress. And I have made it 4 or 5 times and the results have been beautiful every single time. There is no zipper and the dress comes out very comfortable to wear. You can vary the neckline depending on your choice and also the sleeve. So I highly recommend this pattern. It has very few pattern pieces, just the front, the back and the sleeve, that's all. And you can sew this on your normal sewing machine. You don't need to have a serger or an overlocker in case you are interested in starting to sew with a knit fabric. So very first pattern, very easy to sew. Highly recommend. So the next pattern that I want to recommend is MCCalls 7313. This is a beautiful fit and flare dress. I have sewn it 4 or 5 times. It is very beginner friendly. Comes out great every single time. You can vary the neckline. You can make it in a without sleeve, short sleeve or long sleeve. And with like almost 2 yards of fabric, you have a beautiful dress. So my experience of sewing this dress has been great. This is also like only 4 pattern pieces, I believe. Front, back, the skirt and the sleeve. And no notions. You don't need any fancy tools. You don't need to be an advanced sewer. And this pattern is great for pattern hacking. Like I have used it to create a dress from an old t-shirt that I no longer used. So I just used the skirt portion and added it to the t-shirt. And I had a beautiful dress. Also I've used the sleeves on other dress patterns. So highly recommend. If you don't have it in your collection, this is a must buy. The next pattern that I am recommending is MCCalls 8138. I have sewn it in this version C and it was really fun to learn how to add in this zipper. It looks so fantastic. I got so many compliments when I wore my dress to work. People were like, "Oh, did you sew this yourself? Even with the zipper?" I was so happy. And if you've heard of a great YouTuber, her name is Anita by Design, is her channel name. She has a pattern review and a sew along. She will take you step by step. It's a very thorough sew along that you can use. Also, I want to say that this dress asks for almost 3 yards of fabric, But when I made my dress, I did not have 3 yards, so I just reduced the flare in the dress by a little bit, and I was able to complete my dress in like little bit over 2 yards of fabric. So yes, another must-have pattern in your pattern collection, MCCalls 8138. The thing about sewing with knits is sometimes we are very afraid that, oh, we are beginners, we don't have an overlocker, but in fact I found it easier to sew with knits. The fit comes out great every time, and also you can take advantage of the fabric bundles at Walmart. So for like $2 to $6 you can buy yourself some fabric, buy this pattern for $2, and for under $10 you will have yourself a dress that you so this is the fourth pattern I'm recommending from MCCalls 7122. It is also a knit dress, and I made it in the short sleeve version that the model is wearing. Came out beautiful. I was very proud of it. I bought a fabric bundle from Walmart for like $4, and I sewed myself this beautiful dress. It's a raglan sleeve, so you don't have to worry about setting a sleeve, and the neckband is perfect. It came out great. It's neither too big nor too small, because I know sometimes I've struggled with the neckband not fitting right and ruins the entire look of your garment, but not with this dress. The length is perfect, the sizing, the fitting comes out great. Highly recommend 7122. So the next pattern I want to recommend is MCCalls M8035. I made it in this red version, View B. There is a Sew Along by Anita by Design and also a pattern review. I have seen few people make this dress on YouTube. This is a beautiful dress. It came out perfect, was not very difficult to sew. I had it in my pattern collection for a long time, but I was reluctant to sew it because I thought this is like a wrap style dress and those don't fit right on my body type. However, I was very pleasantly surprised at how beautiful the dress came out to be, and I was just overjoyed. So next time I might try it in the longer version. Sometimes the fabric cuts that I have are not more than 3 yards. Another great pattern to have is MCCalls 8312. Brittany J. Jones has a wonderful sew along for this dress. I made it in a gauze fabric. I got that from Joann's on one of those crazy sales. So I had it in my stash and came out beautiful. The dress has pockets. It's very loose, comfy, but doesn't look like a frumpy dress. It looks very elegant, very stylish. I've seen people make it into a top also, so not necessary you have to sew it in a dress. For example, if you don't have enough fabric, you can sew it in, like you can hack it and you can do a shorter version and make it into a tunic top, or you can make it full length. And there is opportunity to do color blocking in the top area. So I highly recommend this pattern. If you don't have it, I would suggest that you go and get it. Next pattern that I have is MCCalls 8214. I am recommending this pattern because it's very easy to sew. There are no set-in sleeves. However, you just take care that this is a different kind of a styling. So the cut where the bodice meets the skirt is much lower. So I don't know, it depends. Sometimes it doesn't look right on many people, so you have to pay attention to that. So in one of the views that I made, I hacked it so that, and I didn't add any flare, but I divided it so that it gave the appearance as if the bodice is much higher up, because that's how I liked it. However, I made one with the inversion B and I wear it with a belt so that I get a defined waistline. However, the dress is very easy to sew. If you like rayon challis fabric, I would suggest that you get this pattern, great pattern, MCCalls M8214. Next pattern is MCCalls M8032. This is another learn to sew pattern level 2. You can make it with some overlay kind of fabric. You can make it in a chiffon or georgette and do a lining. Comes on beautiful, very girly, very flowy, and almost like a Victorian style. It comes out great. Highly recommend this pattern. One thing I want to point out is that when I was sewing it, I was finding it hard to adjust it in the waistline though, because I'm very chunky in the midsection, so I don't have a defined waistline, and most of the dresses are cinching in the waistline. So you might just do away with the darts to get more room if you are like me. Other than that, and also figuring out the skirt pattern, because it's like an umbrella style skirt, but it's, I believe, 3 pieces that you sew together. So then balancing the hemline is something that you have to pay attention also. But other than that, a great pattern, classic dress style, MCCalls M8032. So I got this pattern MCCalls 7120 early on in my sewing journey. I believe I got it in 2022, and the fact that it says learn to sew is what attracted me. It seems very simple. It actually is, because I made it in a version where I didn't put in sleeves. So basically it's just a front piece and a back piece. You sew them together on the shoulder seam and the side seams, and then you hem the bottom and make the neckline and the armhole area, and that's all you have to do. However, sizing is a little bit tricky on this pattern. For example, I made it in a size large, but still I felt that there is a little bit of a gaping in the neck area, and I've heard other people also complain about the dress gaping really badly. So you have to pay attention to that if when you are selecting the size. I would suggest sizing down on this pattern, and if you need, then do a full bust adjustment. So, however, easy pattern, easy classic 1-2 hour sewing time dress. Wonderful tool to have in your toolbox. MCCalls M7120. So folks, that's all for today from my side. I would suggest take advantage of the Joanne sale. Get these patterns for $1.99. I'm sure that out of these 10 patterns, you must have found some that are very interesting. Comment in the description, in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about these patterns. Have you made any of these, and what were your thoughts? Alright, enjoy. Bye bye. See you later.